You have seen the errors that are possible in chain surveying. In order to avoid some of those errors and other mistakes which surveyors might encounter on the field, it is advisable to be aware of some do's and don'ts in chain surveying. So, what are these do's and don'ts in chain surveying which surveyors need to be aware of? Let's find out the answer by going through this module, Do's and Don'ts in Chain Surveying. Welcome. After completing this module, you will be able to list the do's and don'ts in chain surveying. The do's and don'ts in chain survey are basically a list of precautions to be taken in chain surveying. Let's find out what they are. Firstly, the surveyor and the leader should have complete and correct knowledge about chaining and the signals used for ranging. Otherwise, you cannot carry out chaining and ranging correctly and efficiently. Always erect ranging rods vertically. Do not leave them on the ground at an angle. Also, use colored flags on the top of ranging rods so that they are clearly visible. Otherwise, you will have difficulty in seeing the survey stations. Always use the correct technique of unfolding and folding the chain every time. Otherwise, the chain might get tangled and the links might also get stuck. Do not displace arrows from their correct positions. Otherwise, you will take measurements from wrong points on the ground. Always take the readings from the correct end of the chain. Otherwise, you will get incorrect measurements. Lastly, take care in reading and calling out the values of the measurements loudly and clearly. Otherwise, the measurements might not be recorded correctly.
1 meter. 1. 2 meters. 2 meters. 3 meter. 3. 4 meters. 4. 5 meters. 5.
So, remember, always follow these do's and don'ts in chain surveying to ensure that you get the best results from your survey. In this module, you have learned the do's and don'ts that need to be followed in chain surveying. The surveyor and the leader should have complete and correct knowledge about chaining and the signals used for ranging. Erect ranging rods vertically with colored flags, use the correct technique of unfolding and folding the chain, and take readings correctly and call them out loudly and clearly. Do not displace arrows from their positions and do not count chain lengths incorrectly.